I just recently, the past few weeks, I've read about journalists who go into the Gaza Strip in order to find out the truth and report the truth. They're exposing themselves to, they're putting themselves in very dangerous situations, exposing themselves to dangerous suffering. They could be easily bombed, easily shot. So they put themselves at extreme risk in order to be able to report the truth to the world, in order to help others. Or we read about the Doctors Without Borders, who will go right into the center of these violent conflicts, say in the Congo, in Darfur, in Iraq. If they want to live comfortably, well, they're well-qualified doctors. They could just be working in the hospitals in European or countries in America, making a good income. But out of their desire to help others, they're ready to put themselves in positions of extreme suffering. And even though they're in those positions of extreme suffering, because their intention is to help others, they don't feel that suffering to be a threat to their well-being. They have some faith, some confidence, some trust that no matter how much pain they expose themselves to, that there's some force that's not going to protect them, but that will justify the action that they've taken, that will justify morally and spiritually the choice they've made. And so everybody also involved now in this Buddhist global relief, if you didn't have any motivation, you could just back off very easily. You wouldn't be taking extra work upon yourself, an extra burden. But somehow you get stirred by this desire to alleviate the hunger of others, to alleviate the poverty of others, and then this inspires you to use your spare time, your free time, to launch projects, to become involved in whether it's website development, fundraising, even traveling to other countries, as Connie did, contacting other organizations in order to find partners. All of this takes a lot of work, a lot of commitment, but this is done not because we seek our ease and comfort, but because we want to alleviate the suffering of others and to help them to achieve some kind of condition of true well-being and security. Okay, and so the second couplet says, one benefits others but seeks no reward. This is the real spirit of the bodhisattva ideal. Not seeking to be recognized and admired by others, not seeking to get some special plaque with one's name inscribed on it. One benefits others without seeking any reward. But then it includes a line that I don't like so much, because to benefit others is to benefit oneself. One could understand this a little bit materialistically, that, and maybe this is a little bit the danger in overemphasizing this interdependence. Like one thinks that the reason why I'm benefiting others is so that they might be able to benefit me in return. Perhaps if I do good to others, then I accumulate merit and wholesome karma, and that will eventually come to my relief in the future. Of course, it's true that, or at least I believe that it's true, that there is this law of karma. When we do wholesome karma, when we do wholesome deeds, this creates wholesome karma, which will eventually come back to us and fulfill our own good wishes, and bring benefit to us. But I think what the verse actually intends, to benefit oneself, means that it benefits oneself spiritually, not that it's going to bring one some material benefit. when one benefits others, seeking no reward, that helps one to deepen the sense of selflessness. It helps one to build up a sense of deep and vast connections with other living beings, maybe starting from small circle but expanding outward. And as the sense of connection starts to expand, then it brings a deep reward of joy, happiness, fulfillment, a sense that one has lived with real purpose and meaning in one's life. Okay, liberated in mind by a supreme liberation. Okay, the verses are actually describing, within the technical framework, the state of a bodhisattva who has reached what is called the plane of seeing, the plane of vision. That is, this is one who has seen into the truth of the Dhamma. He's not yet come to the end of the path. He's still practicing in order to advance along the stages. But he's reached the plane of vision, the stage of vision, where he's seen into the truth of the Buddha's teaching, seen into the selfless nature of phenomena. And so he's not reached final liberation, but he's liberated in mind by a supreme liberation, by seeing into the truth of the teaching. And by seeing into the truth, he now enters onto what is called the stage of cultivation, the stage of development, where he develops all of the factors of the path to advance on to the full enlightenment of Buddhahood. And so, liberated in mind by a supreme liberation, but then the paradoxical second line, one is yet bound to others by a firm and vast bond. Normally, when following the path of Buddhism, the ideal is to be free from bondage. We say anuttara yoga kema, the unsurpassed liberation from bondage. But here, one who is liberated in mind by the supreme liberation of seeing into the truth of the Dhamma remains bound by a firm and vast bond, or a firm and tight bond. And that bond is great compassion, compassion for other living beings. And so it's this great compassion that propels one who has seen into the truth to come down a few steps to the level of ordinary people and assimilate himself or herself to ordinary people, to act together with them, to participate in activities with them, in order to work for their well-being and happiness. And so one deliberately subjects oneself to this bond of great love and great compassion, by which one identifies so closely with others, so thoroughly with others, that one doesn't even want to step out into final liberation, but one wants to go on working to promote the good of others, to alleviate their suffering.